What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Toner Scorp, here with my co-host, Deception the Rapper. Deception, say hi.
What up?
So, we've got a lot to talk about today, but first, I want to say an apology. I know I've been kind of like wishy-washy with these podcasts lately. School has been a crazy one, but I think I'm figuring it out. I finally balanced the whole like work-school relationship thing I got going on. Like, I'm just trying to find like a good balance between all three of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now I can find like a little streaming balance and stuff.
Yeah, get those streams going again.
Yeah, but I can only do like, so from the streams that I've done already, I can only do games that aren't multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like over. So like I brought Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have yet to play it. Like it's still like packaged. So still got the plastic on. So I think I might do that. And then there's the Modern Warfare 2 campaign coming up. So I think I might do a little pre-order and get that real quick.
You should do that like today.
Yeah.
Because
well, I get paid
if you
tomorrow,
pre-order
so I
it,
could do it
like,
today.
well, the thing is I was gonna say that later because that's a topic of discussion. But today is the day when you can preload the campaign and you can play it tomorrow if you digitally pre-order it.
If I digitally pre-order it,
Order it, yeah.
order it tomorrow, will I still be able to play it?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you could preload it today and have it ready tomorrow.
I'm not gonna be able to play it tomorrow. So that's my
Because
thing.
I know your downloads take like 4,000 years.
Well, like the thing is I can't play tomorrow. I want to have it by the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, because tomorrow I have class all day, like from literally 9:30 until 3:15, and then homework, and then work from I think like I don't know 7 or something like that till like 3 a.m.
Jeez.
Oh, I work 3. Hold on. I work 10 to close. But so, yeah. But speaking of which, super high. Okay. So, now's your time to play. What pre-order? No, sorry. Now's your time to pre-order if you want to play. There we go. That's the English language that I was looking for. But so if you're interested, you gotta get on it now or before it's too late. And the game's out, and then you missed your chance to be one of the few.
I mean, yep. Game's out in 9 days, by the way.
9 days.
Game's out in 9 days, and we've already got a lot of leaks and rumors coming through.
Yeah, we've got. I've sent you a plethora of stuff on Twitter, so we're just gonna start with that.
Yeah.
It's probably like the biggest topic we've got going on right now.
Yeah.
So I'll take the lead on this one. I feel like I'm pretty well versed right now. So Modern Warfare 2, according to Charlie Intel, will feature 30 weapon platforms at launch, giving players access to over 50 unique weapons. So if you find a weapon you like, or if you can't find a weapon you like, keep trying them because there's so many. So there's gonna be a lot of class setup videos, I have a feeling, on YouTube. So it's a heads up.
Yeah, and especially because we don't know how many weapon levels there are gonna be. Obviously, like, with all of the guns that are on platforms that have, multiple guns per platform, it's going to really alleviate a lot of the stress of the weapon level grind, because it's like once you fully level a weapon in one platform, if you have other weapons in that platform, then those other guns are going to have some of those attachments already. So you don't have to worry about completely starting over. And even with even if like you have guns that only have like one gun on the platform, um, because you have those 4 attachment slots that are universal attachment slots. Once you level up all the attachments on one gun, all of the universal attachment slots will be available on all the other guns. So you'll at least have a few attachments on each gun after you do the first one. So that's definitely like that's gonna really help
Oh yeah.
the weapon level grind and the camo grind.
You don't have to sit there for like, I think that's one thing that I think was a big critique of the past few games was how long it takes to level up weapons, and I feel like this is like a good solution because
Yeah.
they want to have the plethora of attachments, but we don't want to have the high level of leveling.
And we might still have that in this game, but it's gonna be a lot less
Yeah,
tedious than it was before.
yeah, exactly. But they're bringing a whole bunch of good stuff. I mean, they posted a little thing. It says season 1 begins November 16th. So you get
Yep.
about less than, like about 3 weeks a game before the new before the first season starts.
Yep. Warzone kicks off on season 1. We'll get
Yep,
Warzone and DMZ right off in the
yep.
beginning.
There's a battle
Um,
pass. There's a new battle pass system. I don't know much
I
about
don't
it.
know how that works. I don't think we've gotten any leaks. I don't think we've
Yeah,
gotten any information on that.
but
The first time that I heard about it was yesterday when they started talking about all that stuff. And I have my guesses as to what the new Battle Pass system is, but we're going to find out in about 3 weeks.
so and they're gonna bring in some fan favorite maps. So they're gonna have some of our favorite maps return into the game, which is really exciting. Um, a new special ops mission, which is cool. 2 new weapons that they haven't already released already. And then
Yeah,
there's
and we
some
have to
mystery
keep in mind
camos.
that those are 2 new weapons.
Yeah.
If those weapons are on platforms and they have multiple weapons per platform, then that could be 2 new weapons that turn into 5, 6, 7, 8
Yep.
new weapons.
Yep. Yeah. And then they told us what kind of camos we're gonna have for mastery wise. There's gonna be gold, platinum, shattered dark matter ultra, and space camo. I'm guessing gold is
I
gun.
don't think that those are like the actual names, but I think that's kind of the descriptive names
Yeah.
because I don't think we know the names of the camos yet.
No.
But
I don't think they've disclosed that information quite yet.
yeah, and I mean nobody has the game, so we haven't seen them.
Yeah.
But
Hope we'll see them soon though. But yeah,
yeah,
so
I
like
mean we'll see them before the launch. I'll tell you that. If somebody gets a disc copy or somebody manages to get into the full game,
yep.
when it's preloadable, we will see those.
Yes, we will.
It will happen if you're looking for
It's
leaks.
gonna be a very eventful day when that happens. So yeah,
The next like week
it's gonna
from
be
from like literally like yesterday on until launch day, it's gonna be. I
so
expect new stuff like every day.
yeah. So if you guys want to know, be on Twitter. If you guys don't want to know, don't be on Twitter. Because it's
Don't
gonna be
be
all
looking
over.
at COD leaks. Like
Yeah,
go in like your muted words on Twitter and put leaks in or something like
or
that.
put like Call of Duty in general as like a
Cause I
muted
mean
word.
it's gonna be everywhere
Yeah,
because everybody likes to report on them. So like it's one of those like the whole leak thing. Like I hear a lot of people talking about it every year. It's like if you want to look at the leaks, look at them. If you don't want to look at them, don't look at them. Like
but cool thing. So they put out, speaking of Modern Warfare 2, they put out the 2022-2023 season for the CDL. They
yeah,
put that
that's
out.
gonna be fun, dude.
So there's, the 5 majors and then champs. Champs is TBA. They don't have like a date or where, but everything else is planned out. So December 15th, which is the day after season 1 Reloaded comes out. Which is I think this is the earliest they've started the CDL. Actually, I know this is the earliest they've started the CDL so far, which is good.
Yeah.
This is what we were looking for. Major 5 is going to be in May, so like it's going to be a pretty like much faster season than normal. I'm guessing
Yeah.
champs will probably be in June or
Champs, I
July.
would guess champs would be in late June, early
Late June,
July.
yeah. So like summertime, so that more people can come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I
Um,
mean, that begs the question of like when is the next season gonna start?
yeah.
But I mean, we'll find out in a few
Yeah,
months.
it might be related to the majors in a way. I don't know. But so December 15th, first major in Rayleigh. Rayleigh? Am I saying that right? Probably not.
Raleigh? Question mark.
Raleigh. I don't know. And then the next one's in Boston, so it's a Boston home event. Then Texas, then New York in April. I might, I don't know, it depends on where I'm at financially, but I might try to go to that one. I might, big might, most likely not. Because I know I said I was going to go to the one last summer, but then it just like everything fell through.
Yeah.
But this one is another might. I might have to plan a little bit better for it because last time I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go, but I didn't have like any money set aside for it, so who knows. But yeah, so that's April 13th is the one in New York, and then there's one in Toronto on the 25th of May. So yeah, gonna be interesting. Gonna be
It's
interesting.
gonna be interesting for sure. One of the things that's very interesting about this for the CDL is starting early, and that begs the question like, when is ranked play coming out?
Mm.
And you got to think about it.
It's gonna come
The
out. It's
first
gotta come out soon.
the first major is December 15th, and season 1 Reloaded drops December 14th.
So it's gotta be
So
part of season one Reloaded. I'm guessing.
if I had to guess, that's the I if I had honestly like that's probably when they're gonna drop it.
Yeah,
I would say that's the latest they should drop it because I think ranked play should come out at or before the beginning of the season.
it's just the way that it works
Um,
though, because people see the competing and um they want to have that like competitive COD, and that's ranked play is how they get that without having to go and like especially for like the more casual players, the ones that aren't on like teams or in organizations or anything that want to be
yeah,
competitive, don't want to be like that competitive, they can just go
yeah.
play ranked. And it's like a good thing because like it builds the hype around it, because then you can like watch the CDL, and then that weekend like after the matches are done, you can go and like you know um try those different things during ranked, you know and try the different
It's
things.
gonna be a good time. Like
Yeah.
I hope that's when they drop rank play. I'm kind of confident considering how hard the CDL has been working in the past like 9 months since we had that whole since we had the big like blow up about
Mm,
ranked play and
yeah.
everything that was happening in Vanguard, and they addressed all that stuff last year. It, I am pretty confident in the CDL. Um, I don't think at least this year things are going to go exactly how we want them to go, but I could really, with the emphasis they've been putting on this game, I could really see them putting in a good rank play system. Hopefully it's like a tweaked version of Vanguard's ranked play system because while Vanguard wasn't the greatest game, I think the ranked play system was good.
Yeah.
Um,
They just released it too late in the game that it just kind of didn't get the love that it deserved.
yeah, and I mean Vanguard didn't get the content. Like I feel like there could have been so many. If they would have just added a bunch of the maps from like World War II into that game, we could have had so much like we could have had such a nice competitive map pool. But they just didn't do that. And with the way that they're supporting Modern Warfare 2, I could see that happening where we get a bunch of the old maps that were like
Mm-hmm.
really good. So we could really make the map pool really nice in this game.
Yeah.
Plus, we got to look at the original maps because I mean this hasn't been fully confirmed, but the rumor is that there are going to be 16 6v6 maps at launch.
Oh
So
my god.
we have a lot to choose from, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm excited to play. Hopefully, with you know Wi-Fi permitting, but we'll see. I think if I play at the right time of day, I can play. But I don't know. But yeah, it should be gonna be interesting. Keep your eye out on the internet. It's gonna be packed full of different things.
Yeah.
Uh, if you want to know, then know. If you don't want to know, like we said before, mute it. Like it's gonna be everywhere. You might get annoyed with how many class setup videos that they're gonna be. Um, I know I bet you there's gonna be so many class setup videos. How many went
They're
bad?
probably like even during the beta, there was a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
class setup videos because the weapon platform system is kind of
new.
crazy.
It's new.
It's new. It's something we don't understand fully yet, even because well, there were a lot of issues with the weapon platforms in the beta because guns. You could unlock guns but not level them up and all
Yeah.
that. But obviously all that stuff will be fixed because all of the guns are in the game. There's
Mhm.
nothing they're hiding anymore. So um, all that stuff will hopefully be fixed. I mean, it's a COD launch. There are going to be bugs and stuff,
Oh
but
yeah. It's not
even
gonna be
though
perfect.
Infinity Ward has made some of the more questionable Call of Duty games, like Modern Warfare 2019, as far as like if we like them or not, they have done a really good job at keeping the bugs to a minimum, and they have really polished the games every time they come out. So at the very least, we're going to get a better launch than we've gotten with the last two
Oh
games.
yeah, definitely. There's definitely gonna be significant improvements. But don't expect it to be like 100% fixed. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be. Hopefully, it'll be
There's
better.
always bugs. It's a COD launch. I
Yeah,
mean,
like it's a game launch. Period. Like most games when they launch have bugs.
I just hope that we don't have a launch like Overwatch's launch earlier this month. That
Yeah.
was
So
catastrophic.
for
Uh,
those of you that don't know and that have been living under a rock, earlier this munch, earlier this month, Overwatch 2 was released. It's I think it's come with some mixed reviews. I've seen some people like it and some people not.
they definitely changed the game a lot. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
they have.
And the thing about the launch was it was rocky. For somebody that was there and was available to play the game a lot, and for somebody that I've really like gotten into Overwatch over the last like
Mm-hmm.
month or
Mm-hmm.
so. Like that launch was like really bad. Like we've never even seen a COD launch that's that bad. Um, I would say the only COD launch that probably has ever been that bad was probably World War II. But um, I mean, there was server queues because they didn't have all their servers up. There was a DDoS attack the
And it
same
was
day
just
of the launch. Basically, like I initially thought I should have expected something similar to that. I didn't expect it to that extent. I don't think anybody did, but I think out of an Activision slash Blizzard launch, we should have expected something like that. But
mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't really get to play the game very much until like later that night. Like there were so many hours just wasted because the game servers were not working. And even then, for the next now the servers work fine, but like for the next few days, it was about a week after the game launched that they really started to make improvements. But for the next few days after that first launch night, when everything went crazy, like the only way we could really play the game was to try to filter into the Europe and Asia servers to be able to skip queues because on the NA side of things, it was like every time you got in a queue, there were like 20,000 people ahead of you.
Oh my
Um,
god.
so it was just not it was not fun. But I mean, the game's fine now. I mean, barring a few extra bugs that will come with any game launch, the game
Mm-hmm.
is pretty okay now. Um,
Hey Mal, I miss you too. Sorry, mouse. Um, yeah, I didn't play it. I haven't had time, but from what I've seen, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know too much about it. I just know it came out and people are either hyped or not hyped. And want to play Overwatch 2? We gonna play? Big time? I don't even have the game yet. You can play with Deception though.
I don't know if I'd play ranked. I'm not that good, but
Game is fun. Okay, I take Matt's
the
word then.
game is pretty fun. It feels really nice.
That's good. Like, how is it compared? Like, how is it compared to Overwatch? Like, how is Overwatch 2 compared to Overwatch?
It feels a lot smoother. I can definitely feel that there's been 6 years between the first game's release and the second game's release
Okay.
because it feels so much smoother. It does not feel like a 2016 game anymore. Um, and I mean, the game has completely changed because I mean, if you didn't know how Overwatch worked before, it's like Overwatch is like a hero shooter where, each there are like three defined roles. Um, sometimes they'll mix and match a little bit, but for the most part, they're very defined roles. There's like the tank role, which are like, big, like quite literally tanky heroes that are they have huge hitboxes, but they have a lot of health, and they like kind of serve to like be the front men for the team. And then there's like the damage role, which is like the people who are like the classic like deal a bunch of damage, just go out and kill people.
Yeah, they're
Um,
they have like, smaller weapons, high fire rates though, low health, like depending on like which
yeah.
which one it is, but
And then like you have healers, which are literally just I mean, they literally just serve to heal everybody. I mean, they can get kills. There are healers that can do a bunch of damage. But
their
the
main
main
priority.
purpose the main purpose of the healers is simply to like stay alive as long as they can and like heal the team.
Yeah, like
And like
they're very crucial role too. Like if your
yeah,
healer dies, you're kind of screwed until they come
yeah,
back.
because the thing is aside from a few like damage players and a few tank players. There's like one tank that can heal himself, and there's like a couple damage players who can kind of heal themselves. And like other than that, you have no regeneration of health. So your healers die, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, the thing about Overwatch 2 that changed so much is the game went from 6v6 to 5v5. It used to be 6v6. There were two tanks, two damage, and two healers, and now it's 5v5. They took a tank away. So now, like, if you play tank, you are the solo tank. You're carrying, um, you're kind of like carrying that your
Roll.
team when it comes to like making sure people push up and like being on the front line. So, um, it's very interesting because the way the game works now is like they buffed the tanks to where every tank has a little bit more health than they used to have on top of all their already massive amounts of health. And they've reworked a bunch of them to be more tanky and to do a lot more like damage mitigation and have different like things that help them out. And it makes the gameplay quite a bit differently. And uh It's fun though. Like it's definitely it's been a learning curve. Like I've still had to get used to it. Uh, but I have fun playing the game.
Well, that's good at least. The fun part is the important part. I
It
don't
is
know. I
fun.
like that fact because like, and the thing is too is that I think it was them picking the tank role to like get rid of is a lot of people didn't play tank. Like that was one of the roles that was like very like short, you know? A lot of people play
Tank
yeah.
was like it was a specific role. It was
Yeah.
like you like most people that would play Overwatch, I think, would play like DPS or healer.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I think that might be why they decided to take a tank out because it was like
They also
people.
like they had to like make incentives for people to play tank too. Like if you queued as a tank, like you got like 10 coins or you got a little care package or this that and like a loot box. So they had to like incentivize people playing tanks because it just
Dude,
matters more
that's
people.
one of the big things though, is like you talked about loot boxes is in Overwatch 2 there are no loot boxes anymore. And that might sound like a good thing on the surface.
No, I
But
love loot
now
boxes.
but now the thing is
Do they have a battle pass?
every like there is a battle pass, but the thing is every skin that's earnable in Overwatch 2 has to be earned through getting coins. And you only get like I think like the most coins you can get per day is like 60. So it's going to take you like forever to get these skins that cost like 1900 coins.
Oh my! I like
Like, and
them.
there's no loot boxes anymore, which I mean, to me, like I think loot boxes in video games are fine as long as they're cosmetic and they don't put in game changing items.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Overwatch loot boxes were. It's
The game.
strictly cosmetic. Um,
Mouse said the
you
game is
couldn't
still the same as Overwatch 1.
you couldn't get like anything that changed like the gameplay and all that. It
Mm-hmm.
was literally just like skins and voice lines and all that. And it's just like like I was watching a video like yesterday uh that I came up on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy said that it was a Reddit thread of an Overwatch player who said that if because now the only way that you can really bypass grinding for coins and it being really slow is spending money on them. And he said that like most of his skins that he bought or that he like had in Overwatch 1 were skins that he earned through loot boxes and stuff. So he looked at all of the loot box earned skins, not ones that he bought, and he said that if he were to have to use money to buy all of those skins in Overwatch 2, his account would be worth $10,226.
Oh my god.
And the thing is like the guy that I was watching the YouTube video of went and looked at his account where he
Hi,
had rarely
Stubby.
spent money on skins,
Mm-hmm.
and uh he had really like not done anything um as far as money goes outside of buying a few skins. And he said that with all of his earned skins, his account was worth $5,677. And he did the math on this because you can only earn like a maximum of 60 Overwatch coins per day. And he said that if he wanted to earn all of the same skins that he earned in the 6 years that he played the first Overwatch, it would take him 181 years to be able to earn enough coins to unlock the same amount of skins.
So they're just what they just did is they just like made the system so that you have to spend money on the game if you want
Yeah, you basically
cosmetics.
have to spend money or else you're just gonna be like getting a couple skins here and there over a long period of time.
That's stupid. Hey, Stovey. Um,
But
why
yeah,
doesn't make any sense to me? It really does not.
that kind of and like it kind of raises the question of is it really bad that there aren't any loot boxes in COD anymore? Like obviously we don't want them to put new guns in loot boxes and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
like the way Blizzard handles Overwatch stuff, I don't know if they would do that in COD now. I think they got way too much backlash to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if they just added loot boxes that were strictly cosmetic and didn't like
Do like new guns and stuff in there. Yeah, then that would be because what they do is like in Overwatch, like when a new hero comes out, you unlock the hero automatically. You know what I mean? You don't have to like,
yeah.
or in like COD, where like, remember when they did like where you had to do like X amount of challenges to unlock a gun? Like that,
Yeah, like you
yeah,
would have to do challenges for stuff, which was great. Like
because it entices you to play the game more.
yeah.
And yeah, they're still gonna if they do loot boxes again, like think about it. They're gonna have there's people that did like 500 loot boxes opening. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like people are still gonna spend money on the game, but you're not driving people away that can't spend money on the game. They already
Yeah.
spent X amount of dollars on the game to begin with. There's already quite a lot. Like like for me personally, like buying COD is like a month's worth of my phone bill.
Yeah.
Like if you like this skin, you buy it. Yeah, Mao, you're right. You're right. I get that. But like the way that Overwatch was, like where you could have all these different skins and it was a very like, I don't know. It's two very different ways of going about it, and the fact that
Yeah.
that was one of the like they literally didn't change anything about the game. They just changed that fact. Kind of like, like was it really worth making a second game? You're just gonna
It's
like
not even
bankrupt
like the
us?
thing
Like,
is like I just I wish that they like made it a lot easier to get like coins because now like used to in like the old game, Overwatch 1, every at the end of like basically every game you'd get some reward,
yeah,
especially if you won. But like
yeah,
it's like every game I would play on Overwatch, I would get like 25 credits or 15 credits or 30 credits or a loot box or something like that. Every game.
yeah. It's like
And like now like
it's play to
there's
earn.
there's no loot boxes. You don't earn credits at the end of games. The only way that you can really like get a bunch of items over a shorter period of time is buying the battle pass and going through all of that.
Yeah, it's there's a certain like play to earn aspect that people like,
Dude,
and
it's
regular Overwatch had a high play to earn. Like the more you played, the more you earned. And the thing with the one of the cons to battle passes is one, have like if you want to unlock everything that's in the battle pass, you have to spend money, right, to unlock the full battle pass. Like yeah, there's a free battle pass, but like you have to like I can see like the pro on it of like it's like the same like the pro on the business side is a con on the gaming side, right? Like you have to pay to get the full battle pass to get all the cosmetics,
yeah.
right? But then you have to have room. Like I like the way that Overwatch did it to begin with, where like yeah, you could buy it if you wanted to, and there's like limited time skins that you can only get certain points during certain things,
Yeah.
right? But you didn't have to spend money. You could just save up your credits for when those
Yeah, that's
events
what that's
happen.
what I did. Even in the short amount of time that I played Overwatch before Overwatch 2 came out,
Hmm.
I got enough credits to buy like 3 or 4 skins, and that was in like I only had played the game for like a month. Like and that was me not even playing like for a bunch of time every day. Like if that was a game like COD that I grinded all the time, I'd be getting so many skins in that game because of how good the system was.
Hmm.
And now all that's just gone.
Yeah. Now it's, I think, honestly, I don't know what I think. Personally, like this is like me speculating what could be. Like people are gonna ride this high of playing the game. They're gonna complete the battle pass, but then once they do that and they like, it's gonna be a competitor's game because all the like the OWL is gonna switch over to Overwatch 2, as far as like gameplay goes. So all the competitive players are gonna switch back. They're gonna switch to Overwatch 2, right? But then all like the casual players that like the skins and like having different stuff, they're gonna stick with their account that they've been grinding for 5 years plus, right? So like because they don't want to lose all that stuff and not be able to like at least like gain like a little of it back by switching to a new game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so like heartbreaking.
And that's the thing about COD that like bothered everybody for so long, and they kind of alleviated it for 3 years here with the last 3 games. Is previously before Modern Warfare 2019, every year you just everything that you had in the previous game, all the camos you could have earned, all the like weapon skins you had, and all that were just gone. Like you just like they were just gone. Like you had to play that game to unlock to like see all the stuff you earned, and you couldn't see it in any other game. And like they fixed that with Warzone in the form of like having all that stuff together, integrating everything,
Mm-hmm.
um, which was super nice. Um, and I mean, but now if you look at all this stuff, all the money people had probably spent on Warzone skins and like all the skins from each game, um,
All the battle passes.
you're yeah, all the battle passes, like all that stuff, it's resetting again. Um, But hopefully this is the last time it ever has to reset because I think they're pretty set on using the Modern Warfare engine, the IW9 engine that they're using right now for Modern Warfare 2. They're pretty set on using that for every game now, so hopefully that never happens again. Um, Hopefully, unless something drastically changes again in a few years, we don't have to have another reset like this.
Spent a lot of money.
Um, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, that I spent a lot of money on that game. I get it. Like I spent a lot of money on video games than I should, but with it's just like the excitement, you know. With cosmetics are such an important part of games now. Like if you don't have a good cosmetic system, your game is set up to fail. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a like a story mode game, you know, like Last of Us, which is like where there's not a lot of cosmetics. Like, yeah, you can have different weapons and stuff like that, but that's about it. Like, there's not a lot of like cosmetic thing, but it works for the game. You can either have good cosmetic, like you can either have cosmetics that are good, or no cosmetics at all. You know what I mean? Like, and then you've
Yeah,
got
I think it's like how you integrate the cosmetics into the
yeah,
game
like, and then you've got a
because
game like a New World, where you can have any cosmetic under the sun. You just gotta find it or buy it with coin that you earn in game or buy, right?
that's the thing is like I love the whole in-game currency idea, but it's like it's got to be very accessible. Like
Yeah.
you have to like if there's this in-game currency that you like I really wish that more games would make it to where there was an in-game currency that was very accessible. It was easy to earn a bunch of it. And you could unlock skins with it. Maybe not like some of the more limited time skins, or maybe they did save a few skins for the store that were like super cool that made you have to buy them because they probably did spend a lot of time on them. So it would make sense that they would cost money.
Yep.
But the thing is like most of the skins and stuff that most of the cosmetics and most of the items that you could have in a game, um, that would make you look cooler or anything like that, should be able to be earned with in-game currency, and at least in my opinion, you should not be able to buy the in-game currency with money to get by. That should be something that you should grind for with the in-game currency. Because, like, when I look at something like that, I look at like COD World War II because COD World War II had an in-game currency called Armory credits
Mm-hmm.
that you could not buy with real money.
Nope.
You had to earn them in game, but they were very accessible.
You got like
Like
10 every single day just for like logging in.
yeah, every like few hours. I think it was like every 4 hours. You could go check your mail in the headquarters and you get 200. Um, every day there would be contracts and there would be challenges that could give you armory credits for completing them. And when you
Mm-hmm.
opened supply drops, which in World War II the supply drops were loot boxes that were they did have game-changing weapons, but you could also earn all of the game-changing weapons through the collections, which you could earn through armor credits. And the thing is, whenever you got duplicates out of supply drops, instead of it just being like, "Oh, I got a duplicate. What am I gonna do with that?" I mean, it's just another thing that doesn't help me. Every time you got a duplicate in that game, it would scrap the duplicate for armory credits, and the armory credits would be a different value based on the rarity of
Mm-hmm.
the duplicate that you got. And like if you got like an epic or a heroic variant of something, um, you'd get like 500, 1,000 armory credits. And like if you grinded the game a lot and you opened a bunch of loot boxes, you were getting duplicates all the time. So you were just constantly stocking up on armory credits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like anytime something new dropped or anytime there was a collection that you wanted, if you grinded the game hard enough, you could just like there were people that had so many armory credits because they did challenges, because they opened loot boxes, and because they played the game and checked their mail all the time, that every time a new gun would drop, they would get it as soon as it dropped because they would just have more than enough armory credits to just spend on it.
Yeah. And the thing is too is like people love that stuff. Like if you look back and like the content, like a big part of like the YouTube world is like openings of those different things. Like not even just like in FPS is like in NBA, like 2K and Madden, like where you open up stuff like that. Like there's videos of people just like opening 100 or 50 or X amount or $200 worth of this, like right, like it's such a exciting thing to watch 'cause you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna get type thing, and you have to grind the game. But I feel like this is like based on this. Oh, this is like an overall statement on this entire conversation. Is like I feel like no matter what kind of cosmetic system we're given, we're not gonna be happy with it. Because looking back now, World War II was a really good cosmetic system, like the way that we got things with the supply drops and the armory credits. But like so many people were unhappy with it.
It did still have flaws because I mean now you can do collections and you can do challenges and you can unlock any DLC gun with armory credits. But there was a period in World War II where not all of the DLC weapons would appear in the collections. You would have to open supply drops for them, which was not a good thing. But Sledgehammer, if there's anything Sledgehammer is good for, maybe they don't make the best games, maybe they don't make the games we want, but they do listen and they do a really good job of changing things that we don't like. And they did a lot of that with World War II. I wish they would have done more of it with the Vanguard, but it is what it is.
What did he? Bourgeoisie. I don't know what else is there to talk about.
Well, I mean, if we want to go into talking about
Oh, we can talk about some optic for a little bit.
yeah, because two big things that happened. I'm not the only one excited for it because I saw a whole lot of replies about it. But last weekend, something happened that I would have not expected, probably, to be honest. Optic, like my two favorite worlds collided, because Optic got to sponsor a NASCAR team last weekend, and it was wild. I woke up to seeing that and I was like, wow. So basically, and Hex did an eavesdrop podcast on it and he promoted it like all weekend. But Optic released um did a reveal that they sponsored a NASCAR team for the Las Vegas race last weekend. They were sponsoring Corey LaJoie's number 7 car for he drives for Spire Motorsports. They're a pretty small team. They definitely could use some extra funding, and they probably got that from Optic sponsoring them because Optic literally got put in front of millions of people for that
Oh yeah,
race.
that's like priceless advertising.
Yeah, like when especially for like racing fans, like what's cooler than seeing like something that you really love being put on a car? Um
And it
and like
brings
seeing that was like so interesting. Like anytime that like when I was watching the race on Sunday, anytime I would see that car on the screen, I was like, oh, like I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like I'm watching a NASCAR race, a sport that I really love, where my favorite esports organization is sponsoring a car that is on screen. I'm like, that's wild.
yeah. But like this too is like imagine how many people looked at that car and were like, huh, what's op gaming? You know?
Yeah, it's
Like
not often that you get a sponsor like that.
no. Or
Um,
like you get an opportunity to like go into something like that because like NASCAR is a really really big thing, especially in the United States. I don't know how it is in other countries, but
yeah, I mean, and the thing is like NASCAR is just starting to like kind of come back to it's working on getting back to where it used to be. Um, like in the early 2000s, it was the second biggest sport. It arguably, like depending on the week, could be the biggest or the second biggest sport in the U.S. outside of the NFL. Um,
Gonna be hard.
but
It's hard to top
it
the
was
NFL.
huge, and then it experienced a pretty hard decline. Um, it didn't completely die off, but I mean, yeah, there's definitely been a very big decrease in attendance. A lot of the biggest sponsors that used to like drag people into the sport kind of left. But now stuff like that's coming back. There's been a little bit of resurgence over the past like couple years. Um, I think, as weird as it is to say, I think the COVID outbreak helped because NASCAR was the first live event sport back after the COVID like shutdown, and that kind of like put them on the map. But they've been doing a lot of stuff recently that has like really started to like get their name out there more,
Mm.
and doing stuff like this where you know they're reaching this demographic of like the 16 to like 28-year olds that are like playing video games all the time and watch Twitch streams and watch like all that. Like that's what they needed. And like when they do stuff like this where they allow um, Optic to sponsor a car for a race, like that's exactly what they need.
Well,
um
it's the thing though, like, and you have to look and see like sponsor stuff like that brings in more people to watch, and you have to look at what the next generations watch, like what the next generation likes, in order to
yeah,
because like that's the
that's
thing
what
with like
that's what they've been doing. They've been doing a lot of that.
because that's the thing like bringing up something like TikTok, like everyone of the younger generation uses it, and if they don't, there's very few. Like there may be like 1% of the younger population doesn't use TikTok,
Yeah.
or
And that's the
even
thing is there has been a TikTok has sponsored a car before. I mean, it was
yeah,
a couple years ago, but when TikTok was on the rise, they were sponsoring people.
yeah. So like it's one of those things. It's like you have to find out what the younger people like in order to get them in, because the younger people are the future of the NASCAR viewage or the viewer base, right?
Yeah.
So it was very smart of them to reach into something like esports, where it's one of those things that the younger generation sees it more as a thing than the older generation. Like you look at the statistics of esports, and people under 40 make up a majority percentage of the people that watch.
Yeah. And that's kind of the opposite of NASCAR because for the longest time, people over 40 were the majority. Um, so it's nice that they're kind of breaking into the younger like
Yeah.
age groups. And I mean, who knows? It's like Hex openly said that he'd never been to a NASCAR event, and he never was like a big racing fan, but it really interested him. And I don't know if he's posted it yet. I'll have to look, but he did say he was going to vlog the whole time that he was there, for the race and like everything. So it's going to be really interesting to see like what he took from it because like we both know, um, and I would think a lot of the people that watch this podcast know that when when Hex sees something that he really likes, he will try to get into it.
Oh yeah.
And
He goes like full in.
there's a lot of room because even if Hex never bought like a NASCAR team, which would take so much money. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
probably has the money for it, but it would take so much money and it would take so much more knowledge than what he has. But, NASCAR does esports stuff. They have an iRacing league that's sponsored by Coca-Cola that is huge. Um, it's It's literally just like the virtual version of NASCAR, and I'm sure that if he hasn't already, there is a possibility that Hex might be looking at
Oh yeah.
getting an Optic iRacing team.
The thing is like when Hex wants something, he goes full send so he can get it.
Yeah, it's like
He's
if he
very
sees the
hungry.
potential, like he'll go for it.
Oh, yeah, he's a very hungry entrepreneur, especially when it comes to the optic brand.
And that's why he's doing stuff like this. Like a couple years ago when they were trapped under Infinite, he wouldn't have been able to do stuff like this. Before the merge with Envy, he wouldn't have been able to do stuff like this. Because now he has the resources and now he's really showing like what he's gonna do for Optic. Like they just dropped that whole like Optic Nation like subscription thing where you get early access to videos, early access to merch, you get tickets to events and all that. Like it's like they're doing a lot now. Um And I knew that when this Optic merger happened with Envy, that it probably the biggest things would probably start to come to fruition about a year in, and we're about a year in, and they're starting to make huge changes.
Oh yeah. It's only gonna be up from here. It's only gonna be.
Yeah, unless something catastrophic happened, I don't think we're gonna see Optic like changing hands anymore. I think we're in a really good spot. Um, and that's the other thing is like the other announcement that was made with regarding Optic was that moving forward, Hex will now serve as CEO of Optic, and Adam Reimer, who was the former CEO, uh, who was involved with Envy, because Optic and Envy are together. He'll step down to a strategic advisory role. So now it's literally like Hex is at the top. Like him and Hastro are the top dogs. Like they are the ones that are controlling this thing.
So well, I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I am.
Because, you know, and now it's like um Hastro's like Hastro's official title is co-owner and chief gaming officer of Optic. And now Hex is co-owner and CEO. So,
As long as they keep doing what they're doing, I'm good.
yeah.
As long as they keep making moves.
Oh, this is big news on the podcast live.
What?
The first community update of CDL 2023 airs tomorrow.
Oh,
They're going to talk about the 2023 season format, Major 1 details, challengers, events, and more.
I'll have to do a little bit of a segment on that next week.
Yep. And as we know, like, Major 1 is in December, but to like get into Major 1, you have to qualify, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Major 1 qualifiers start December 2nd. It's right around the corner.
During finals week. Well, finals time. The first major is like right before my finals.
Wow.
Alrighty. Got anything else you want to talk about, Deception?
No, I think that's about it.
Hey, well, that was a nice little podcast on this. I don't know about you guys, but it's chilly today.
Oh,
Like,
it's cold
it's
here.
chilly. It's a chilly day.
Compared to what it was the last few days, it's cold.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Climb Together podcast. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit the like button, follow button, subscribe button, all the buttons. Leave a good review on the podcast. Follow us on Twitch where we record this podcast live. I think we're getting down to a good time here at like 4:30, 5ish.
Yeah, 4:35 sounds pretty good to
Yeah.
me.
So I think that works best for me as far as like with school. But yeah, so like make sure you guys, stay tuned. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Deception, you have anything left to say?
I'm super excited for what's about to happen
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
with
exciting.
everything. I mean, Modern Warfare 2, the COD League stuff. Like I've said it before, this is a make or break year, so I hope they do things right.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll probably know more come next week. We'll go more into like what we see from the campaign. I'll try to play the campaign a little bit this weekend, give you guys a little bit of an insight. Maybe I'll even post a YouTube video. Probably not, but who knows. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I love you guys. See you guys next time. Peace. Deception, say bye.
Bye.